How's everybody doing today? Well, we got a little bit of some tomato plants growing, and there's some cherry tomatoes in here. I got to get some weeds out of here again. Just weeded it the other day, and got a couple regular tomato plants. I think a deer got in here and ate some, and some sweet potatoes. But anyway, this here is all needs to be tilled up. Little weedy in here right now. Got a lot of projects going on. So I was watching Pinball's video today. Pinball Preparedness. I like his channel. He's got some good stuff on there. And they were talking about vehicles and I guess like EMP type stuff. And this is I'm thinking 81 Ford. My $500 dump truck. But I put a new distributor in it when I got it. The distributor was actually cheaper than part that was bad inside there. You could get that part separate, but it was pretty much the same price. Pickup coil, I think it is. Then you got this thing here that I replaced that, and I kept the old ones. I bought it right, so I don't mind putting a few dollars in it. I put a power steering hose on it. But anyway, they were talking, and I've heard guys say that an EMP will not affect even newer cars. But most people think something in the 70s or even 60s would probably be better yet from getting it fried. Well, I think this would fry the module there. It's a Ford. A lot of the old Fords had modules. But I've got, this looks a little rough, but I've got regular point distributor around here. And I don't know if I can turn this in video. It turned, it's freed up. Probably the sun's going to block it. The points are actually opening. But if a guy was to, and I've got these around for different engines. I've kept these distributors. See, them points are open right there. Now, I'm going to buy some new points, a rotor. Even though that rotor is actually broke on that end, in an EMP situation, this would run. I got to get a distributor. The distributor cap itself is different. This will drop right in this motor. I used to sell motors, and I'd take them out of the cars with the modules and stuff like that. And I kept these point distributors around, so I could just set them on the ground and start these engines up so people could hear them run. So I kept these distributors around. I got them for Dodges. And this definitely needs to be cleaned up good. It's rusted, but it ain't nothing that couldn't be cleaned up and reused. It looks a little rough, but the bearings are good in it. You can turn it over. The vacuum advance, I'm not sure about that, but it would actually run even if that was bad. But you can repair them. So I'm going to actually keep this around and get the new points. Even though these old points, I believe, in the condenser right there, 90% of the time them will clean up and work. You can actually test them without putting them in the vehicle. And it's pretty easy to put them in a vehicle. This is your number one. The valve cover always sticks a little closer to the hood, a little bit more than the other side. So you can always tell the number one on any V motor, V6, V8. But V10, you run that number cylinder up on, you pull the plug out and you unhook your power source so it ain't going to start, and you run it up on compression, you'll hear a puff, and you line this rotor up, you mark it before you pull the old one. You got to put this back in the same spot, and if you get it off, you got to start all over. But it's very easy to do. I've done them a whole bunch of times. That can be changed over to points. You put a ballast resistor on the firewall and run a point coil. This can be changed over to points. I've got a distributor, I believe, for this one too. So I just like to have them around. Not that I would ever want an EMP to happen, but and if you see an old guy out working on something in the yard, or even a young guy, just because they don't have schooling don't mean they can't get something going. They're out there working on them rotor tillers and them lawnmowers under that shade tree. Them's the guys to know. I mean, they're not all knowing what they're doing, but they're learning. That's what the younger generation needs to get with some of them older guys and learn how to do some of this stuff. But it's actually pretty simple. I've done them many a times, but anyway, I was just watching his video, and that's one reason I don't get rid of these. Sometimes it's good to have a lot of stuff around. Now this here, still trying to decide what we're going to do with that. It's got a good engine in it. I can hear our chickens off in the background. This is kind of a mess. We're in the process of moving. I got a lathe and my bench, and I'm going to put over here until I get a new roof on the garage. Bolts. This stuff is all, basically, there's the skirts for my van. This stuff is all also real handy if it ever does hit the fan. Bolts and screws, and my lathe is 110 operated. I can run that off my little power pack I got. CB radio, might be a little dark on here. I just bought these tires brand new off the marketplace, $25 a piece for my van. It's got a date code of like the 6 months of 03. So I got $100 into 4 of them. Now I got to find 16-inch wheels. I got 16 5s on there. I'm trying to eliminate them. Extra starter. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff around here. Just in case, I don't know, some critter must have got in here. Look like they're digging in my compost or my pot soil. This thing right here goes on top of a 4-barrel. You can run propane. I got the rest of the kit around here in one of these boxes someplace. Cooking camp stove, some charcoal, some plumbing, some arrows or bolts, whatever they want to call them. Yeah, we've got a little bit of everything. Got some 2x10s there. So I'm going to be bringing some more stuff up from the other place, and I just bring so much at a time. I got so much stuff to move. I've got rid of a lot of it. I thought I'd do a video because a lot of people really don't know, and I'm not sure about a lot of that stuff. We hear stuff all the time. We don't know who knows or who don't. I know a lot of these people got their sources, which my source is experience. I just know what I know, and that ain't a whole lot, but sometimes you know enough to get by. And with me, it's all about driving something with no payments on it and making it run. This has only got, I think, 48,000 miles on it, original miles. I bought it from the guy who bought it brand new. About 15 miles from here. I guess I'm going to need both hands to shut that. So I paid $500 for this 7 or 8 years ago. I don't drive it that much. I haul different stuff with it, firewood and scrap metal, and we got the old wheel horse. That's old. I like the old equipment. But a lot of this stuff would probably survive an EMP. Hope we never get one. This is the daily driver here. That's one I just got the new tires for. It's fun to drive. Got the old wing windows on there. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get some rain. Come over here to feed our chickens and maybe collect a few eggs. Yeah, this is our bug out location. We've got a lot of work to do. Well, thanks for stopping. Hope you have a good day. Prepare the best you can. Goodbye now.